Niger Republic's Defense Ministry said that 17 of its soldiers have been killed in an ambush on Tuesday in the southwest region bordering Burkina Faso. Attacks in Niger have been falling since 2021, but security remains a major problem, especially in the southwest near the border with neighboring Mali. On the Malian side, the departure of French troops last year left a security vacuum that groups linked to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda have expanded into. The Defense Ministry said a detachment of Niger's army was attacked in an ambush next to Torodi commune. It added that more than 100 terrorists were neutralized. All right, at this point, we'll be connecting with our correspondent who is actually in Sokoto State right now at the border between Nigeria and Niger to give us an update on the happenings there. Bernard Akede is on standby. Bernard, once again, it's good to connect with you.
Thank you, Dakpo. Right now, like you did mention, I'm at the border between Nigeria and Niger in Sokoto State. Now, there are about 7 states in Nigeria that border Niger Republic, Nigeria's next door neighbor to the north, and Sokoto is one of them. Currently looking behind me, the town there is called Koni in Niger Republic, and the town where we are bordering Niger from is called Ilela. But there's something interesting I got to find out as we got here this morning. Now, where I am standing, apparently, I am told is called no man's land because the border of Nigeria ends about 500 meters ahead of me, while the border of Niger is about 2 kilometers behind. So between there and here, it's called no man's land. And I asked a funny question. I said, so what country would I say I'm in? I'm still waiting for the response to that question. But going forward now, Dakpo, the closure of the border has clearly left economical impacts on the lives of the people living here. What you're seeing behind me now are a group of trucks that have been here, some say, for up to 2 weeks. And the reason is because, of course, of the necessary compliance to the ECOWAS ruling concerning closure of land borders. So the land borders from Nigeria bordering Niger have been shut, as we all know, and because of that, trucks that come into Nigeria from as far as Burkina Faso, as far as Mali, Ghana, and now Niger, through this route into Nigeria, can no longer go through. And the same thing as we're coming this way, trucks that leave Nigeria and go into these countries, as I mentioned earlier, are stuck along the way. Just yesterday, we were told, or rather this morning, we actually did see a particular truck that was apprehended by immigration services. And then the story behind that is that in compliance to the non-movement of goods and services across the border, that truck, as they saw last night, was apparently trying to cross through one of the illegal entry points and was apprehended. But as all the security operatives worked together, the immigration service apprehended the truck, handed over the goods to the customs, which is their own department, and then they held on to the manpower, the people manning those trucks. So such is the situation right now at this border, and I believe at other places as well. So there's security going on one side. Security operatives are ensuring that there's enforcement and compliance to the rules, and then there's the economic impact, which has clearly affected the lives of the people around here. While speaking to us, some of the people also did tell us an ironic story that they who move goods and services here across the borders send monies to their family members. But because they've been stuck here for some as long as 2 to 3 weeks, now their family members have to be the ones to support them while they're stuck here waiting for the borders to hopefully reopen sometime soon.
All right. Now, I understand, Bernard, that, the border closure is as a result of the sanction, or one of the many components of the sanction ECOWAS actually did impose on Niger. But my next question has to do with standby force. Is there anything like that in sight, ECOWAS standby force, around the border area at this time?
Well, there's no standby force. There's nothing appears to be standby force around here. When that proclamation was made after that second extraordinary summit that was held, a lot of people thought that you would see some group of military soldiers, armored vehicles standing by at the border lines, but there's nothing of that. All we can see here are the regular Nigerian soldiers, at least from the Nigerian end, officers of the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Customs, the Nigerian Immigration Services, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Nigerian Police as well. All the regular security agencies that should be manning the borders are here at their posts and their positions. Nothing to suggest that there could be any escalation that could lead to the use of force. So I think that may be downplayed a little bit. It's just the regular activities that should be going on across the border. That's what we're having at the moment.
All right, before I let you go, Bernard, what is the, well, I call it the mood of the people or their position concerning the coup in Niger, those staying at the border towns? What is their opinion of the coup in Niger? I mean, are they in support or against it, the change of government?
Well, to be honest, those in Nigeria whom we spoke to at the border town didn't say much about the coup, didn't give any position about the coup. They're more concerned, as one would expect, more concerned about their economic life and how this is affecting them, basically. And of course, they are also asking for peace, basically. The stories by the ECOWAS, and of course because the Nigerian president is the chairman of ECOWAS, may have sent out some wrong information to persons, making them believe that the Nigerian president is the one who has been calling for some kind of military force. But he's doing that in the position of ECOWAS chairman, which he is, this office he currently is occupying. So it is not like the people there, the people around the border town are saying anything concerning any kind of a military intervention, any kind of sanctions, or having anything to say concerning the coup. As a matter of fact, they clearly are concerned about economic activities coming back to normal so that they can just live their lives the way it used to be. And I also like to add here that we also need to understand that from the other end, from Niger, there is actually movement. Their own borders are open. The issue here is the borders of the other West African countries, Nigeria case in point, where the borders are closed. So they can move out of Niger, but only to a certain point before they can no longer move forward and get into Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Bernard Akede, and of course, stay safe.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up on the news at this time, Zimbabwe opposition seeks change as voters gear up for polls. We have, of course, details of this story and more after the break. Good afternoon, Casa. Please, can you unmute your microphone so that we can have a...
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
The unfortunate part is that on my side you are breaking, like you are more like inaudible. Actually, I can barely hear what you're saying.
You can barely hear me. Oh wow. Okay, but I can hear you well.
Yeah, because on my side, like completely, I can't really hear what make of what you're saying.
Okay.
I can test. Yeah.
Okay, I believe we'll resolve that shortly. But once again, thank you for joining in. We'll be with you shortly.
Sorry?
I said thank you for joining in. We will be with you shortly. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I can barely hear you, to be honest with you. I'm not
okay,
sure how the interview
maybe
is
one
gonna
other
go
thing.
because like the audio is not well on my
side. The volume of your phone, the audio volume, can you boost it? Can you increase it? Probably that might just be an issue. Okay. All right, once again, thank you, Casa. We'll be with you.